What is going on, people? It is your boy Temp, and I am here with an unboxing of my brand new lens. This is the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 zoom lens. So I'm gonna unbox it, give you my first impressions, and talk about why I decided to go with this lens in the first place. But before we do that, if you like content like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you guys can check out all of my other content on this page as well. All right, so let's get into it. One thing about Sigma is their packaging is not something to write home about. If you're looking for an unboxing experience, Sigma is not the company for you. However, if you do want good quality lenses for relatively good prices, Sigma is definitely the way to go. Okay, so we have this warranty card, this big booklet right here, all the stuff that we don't care about. So let's get into the lens itself. So the lens itself does come in a pretty nice lens case. Let's open it up and see what this lens is looking like. All right, and there it is in all of its glory. Okay, wow. So first impressions of this lens is this thing is hefty. If you know Sigma lenses, you know that Sigma definitely is not a light lens. Really good build quality. Let me compare it to my 18-35, which I have right here. This lens is about 1.8 pounds, and this one is, I believe, 2.2 pounds. So it's about half a pound heavier. The build quality of both of these lenses feel pretty similar. I think the 24-70 might be a bit more rigid. The focus wheel is definitely tighter on this lens. Also, the position of the focus wheel is kind of weird. Like normally the zoom would be behind and the focus would be in the front. This one is reversed and they're right up next to each other, which is one of the reasons why I was hesitant to buy this lens in the first place. Because sometimes you might accidentally grab the zoom ring instead of grabbing the focus ring, and that might mess up your shot. But there are a few reasons why I decided to go with this lens instead of some of the other options, and I'm going to talk about them in just a bit. So one of the reasons why I decided to go with the Sigma 24-70 was the price. They do have cheaper lenses in the 24-70 range, but I felt like this is the one that'll give you the best quality and the best bang for your buck. If you consider a lens that is $1,100 a bang for your buck. Canon also makes a 24-70 f2.8 lens, but that one is $1,800, and if you want the RF one, then that's $2,200. So when it comes to quality versus price, I still think Sigma is definitely one of the best when it comes to that. The second reason why I went with this lens is because I wanted a really good workhorse lens. So I wanted one lens that could cover a lot of bases, something that has a lot of flexibility, and I think 24-70 is right within that range where you can get really nice close-ups or you can get really nice wide shots. Also with the f2.8, it's not the fastest lens, but I think 2.8 is definitely fast enough to get you some pretty good low light situations. Like my Sigma 18-35, this one is a f1.8, but 90% of the time I'm not using it past the 2.8 anyway. So if I have my 24-70 on my camera, I should be able to use this in 80 to 90% of the situations that I shoot in. Sometimes when I'm using my 18-35, I wish I had just a bit more zoom. Like I wish I could zoom in just a little bit more. And that is where this lens comes in. I could still get some pretty decent wide shots. It won't be as wide as my 18-35, but this 24-70 focal range gives me a bit more room to play with. So not only was I looking for a good workhorse lens, I was also looking for a lens that would work really well and pair really well with my 18-35. Currently, whenever I have an A cam and a B cam set up, I'll have this lens on one camera and I'll have the lens that I'm shooting on right now, my Sigma 17-50, on the other camera. Now the 17-50, it's a good lens, you know, it got the job done, it served its purpose, but it is a bit older and also it's not as sharp as the other lenses that I have. So I wanted to switch this lens out and get something a bit better. Now, even though the 17-50 has a much wider focal range than the 18-35, because it's not as sharp as the 18-35, I would use this as my wide lens because I didn't want to zoom in and have an image that's soft. But now that I have this lens, I'm going to use my 18-35 as my wide and use my 24-70 for my close-up shots. The third reason why I got this lens is because of image stabilization, or as Sigma calls it, optical stabilization. With this switch right here, if you're shooting handheld, you can activate the optical stabilization, and that'll help make your footage a bit more stable, a bit less shaky, and that's gonna come in handy because I plan on shooting a lot more handheld. And again, comparing my 18 to 35. This lens is an amazing lens, but the one thing that it's missing is the fact that it does not have any image stabilization. The camera that I shoot on, which is the Canon M50, it does have internal stabilization, but it's digital, and sometimes it just looks like shit. It gets really jittery sometimes. It has like this weird, unnatural look to it. So having a lens that has that built-in stabilization is something that's going to help me out a lot in the future. I might as well keep both of them out at this point because I just keep comparing the two lenses. So the next reason why I decided to go with this lens is because of the weight. Now earlier I said that this lens is heavier than my previous lens, which you would think is a bad thing, but weight is actually a good thing when it comes to camera rigs, because the heavier your camera rig is, the less likely you are to get shaky footage. So having a heavier lens and having this built-in optical stabilization, that's gonna help make my handheld shots be a lot more stable. And the last reason why I got this lens is because it is parfocal, or parfocal like. Now I didn't know what parfocal meant until I had a situation with this lens here. I was using this and I was doing manual focus, so whatever subject I was focusing on became out of focus whenever I was zooming in or zooming out. I thought that my lens might have been defective. I thought that my lens might need to be calibrated, but then I did some research and I found out about parfocal lenses, which this is a parfocal lens. Some lenses, when you zoom in, it's not gonna keep focus, and some lenses, when you zoom in, it's gonna keep the focus. So the fact that this lens will stay in focus when I zoom in and zoom out is definitely a plus. And I guess a bonus reason why I got this lens is because it's Sigma. You know what you're getting with the Sigma lens. You know that these lenses are really good quality. You know that these lenses are really sharp. Like, all the Sigma lenses I've ever used are really good. So I actually have my camera rig over here, and what I plan to do is put this lens, my new lens, the 24-70, on here and see how it feels on the rig. As you can see, the rig is definitely a bit more front heavy, so the balance is still pretty neutral, doesn't really lean too far forward. Let me put my lens support on and see how that works. I might actually have to bring this up a little bit. Okay, so the weight is definitely off. Let's see if I can fix that somehow. So it took a little bit, but I got it sitting right. Definitely have to make a few more micro adjustments to make it work, but overall it feels pretty good. Like, you know, even though this makes my rig a ½ pound heavier, it doesn't feel like it's a ½ pound heavier. It actually feels pretty much the same, so that's actually surprising. So I'm really excited about this lens. I'm gonna try it out for a while, maybe give you guys an update, let you know how I feel. But my initial first impressions are, yeah, this is a really, really good lens. All right, so let's see how far this goes. Yeah, I'm excited about this lens. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy content like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.